All right, everybody, welcome to today's edition of Chef Corner. This is our first one of 2020, so I'm happy to be here. My name is Kevin. I am the General Manager of Intuit's At Your Table program in the San Diego location. So today, when I was coming up with our menu for today, I think everybody's coming out of the holidays. Everybody's trying to hopefully made some of those New Year's resolutions, trying to maybe lose a little bit of weight, eat a little bit cleaner. So today, as a great recipe I found online, it's a detox salad. So we're going to use a lot of different components. It's a completely raw dish. It's going to have a lot of different components, have a lot of antioxidants and things to kind of kickstart that system, get all that junk out of your body, and maybe help you achieve some of those diet goals of your new year here. Another thing, too, very, very popular right now is plant-forward food or being vegetarian, vegan. It's something that we've committed as a family in my household to. Starting off the new year, we did it last year, too, as well. I made it to about October till I broke right around Halloween. So we're going to try and stick through the whole year this year. But a lot of health benefits I had personally when I switched to plant-forward. Dropped a ton of weight. I was more vibrant, alive, felt like alive every day. Also, the meals I ate didn't weigh me down completely. So if it's something that maybe you're on the fence considering, I'd do a little bit of research on it. It's really positive. So today, just starting off, first I'm going to go over our ingredients we're going to use. Then I'm going to go over some of our utensils that we're going to need today, and we'll talk a little bit about safety here in a second too. So the base of our salad today is going to be two components. So we're going to have some nice leaves of kale here. So we got a couple leaves of kale and then some cabbage, okay? We're going to have to prepare the kale a little bit differently just to soften it up. Kale is a very tough leafy green. So we're actually going to do a process called massaging the kale. It's going to soften it up, make it a little bit more tender, especially in its raw state. I got one avocado. Avocados have a lot of great antioxidant properties to them. They have a lot of good fat for really clean energy. A carrot, carrots always go good in salad. Again, very high in vitamin content. Got some green onions, more antioxidants packed into there. We got some broccolini. Okay, so broccolini is something we started really trending a couple of years ago in the culinary scene. You'll find it on a lot of different restaurant menus today. We're doing a little raw broccolini today. Again, a lot of vitamins packed into that. Got a couple radishes. These are going to give our salad some flavor, some texture, some crunch. And then for our actual dressing, we're going to use a couple cloves of garlic that I have here. I got some fresh ginger that I had at the market, and I also got some fresh turmeric. The recipe that we're going to post up will have, I think, powdered turmeric, but we're going to go ahead and grate up some fresh turmeric there for you. We got some maple syrup, some nice maple syrup that's going to add a little bit of sweetness to our dressing here. A couple fresh lemons for when we make our dressing, olive oil, and then we're going to use I have an organic apple cider vinaigrette that we're going to use for that today too as well. A little bit of salt and pepper I have in these bowls, and then we're going to top off our salad with some roasted sunflower seeds. Okay, so that about does it for what we have as far as product-wise. A couple other things that we're going to need today is going to be, I like to do a lot of my salad dressings. I just do them in a mason jar. So we're going to go ahead and assemble it in a mason jar, close up the lid, and we're going to give it a good shake. That's going to really emulsify that dressing. It's going to actually combine the oil, the vinegar, and all the other liquids together into what we call emulsification. And that way it doesn't look like a broken kind of dressing. We need a veggie peeler. I have a cup measurement. I have a teaspoon and a tablespoon measurement too as well. And an extra fork for a little bit later. We'll show you what to do with that. And then a couple different utensils I'm going to have here. So I have this is what we call a microplane, or it's just going to be a grater or a zester. So I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to use the ginger and the turmeric on this to go ahead and get that into its proper form. Nice set of tongs for us to go ahead and toss our salad up. A mixing bowl. We'll show you what to use there. I like these for my avocados. They're just super easy to use for avocados, scoop everything out. So I have this kind of spreader knife here. And my favorite kitchen knife, okay, got to make sure this is nice and sharp. Because it's nice and sharp, I do also recommend that we use a cut glove. Anybody that's not in the restaurant industry watching this video, you guys can pick these up online. They're a cut-resistant glove. They have them on Amazon. Or if you walk into any kitchen supply house, they'll have a ton of these. We wear these all the time in the restaurants. They prevent any kind of slices. They don't do too well with stabs. But it just prevents us from, making that extra trip to the ER, which nobody wants to do right now. All right. So let's get going. So the first thing we're going to do, I've already washed my hands, and most importantly, I've already washed all my produce coming into this video. But we're going to start with our kale, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just get the board right down here. So the nice part about kale is we're going to chop off a couple of these stems. They're just kind of a little bit tough, and we're actually going to do a nice little fine chop on our kale here. Oop, let me put my cut glove on. And so we're going to really kind of just, I'm going to come across my kale like this, and then we're going to go back the other way. Bunch it up, and we're going to go really fine on the kale here. Not really fine, but maybe half-inch dice on our kale. Okay. Once I have that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to place this in my bowl here. I'll show you what to do with this. We're going to drizzle just a teaspoon of olive oil onto this. Put that offside, and then just a pinch of salt, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of mix this up. We're going to kind of take the kale, kind of crush it up with our hands, okay? So it's actually going to kind of get some of that stiffness out of that kale. When we go to use it in our salad dressing or in our salad, it's going to be a lot more palatable when we take a bite into it. You're going to see, actually, after you let it sit there for a second, it's actually going to reduce and kind of curl up in size. I'm going to put that off the side. I'm going to wash my hand just real quick. All right. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble our dressing. So again, every component of this, I'm going to go straight into my mason jar, and we're just going to go ahead and give it a good shake. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of olive oil. All right. Olive oil. Next thing, I have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So we're going to actually equate that to just being 1 whole lemon. As long as we get enough out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to roll the lemon here. It's going to break up all those fibers inside that lemon and give me a little bit extra juice a lot easier. So that's where my fork comes in handy here. I'm going to go ahead and pull out some of my seeds. And I'm just going to kind of get my fork to really kind of break up some of that pulp inside the lemon. And a good thing of juice. Again, if we're going to measure this out, we're looking for 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. But I'm going to equate that to just being 1 lemon here. Now, as you can see, the lemon and the olive oil don't mix too well. So that's why we're going to do the emulsification here. You can see all of our lemon sitting here and our oil floating on top. When we go ahead and we give that a really good shake, that's what's going to make it into that kind of dressing. It'll give it a lot much better mouthfeel too. Next thing we're going to do is we have a couple cloves of crushed garlic here. So it doesn't need to be perfectly diced. Again, I kind of opted to just buy the pre-peeled garlic, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to kind of slam my knife down onto it. That's going to break that garlic up really nicely, and I might give it a couple smaller chops going across my board here. Go ahead and get that placed into our dressing. All right. Next, we're going to do 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Now, with the nice organic stuff, you need to make sure you give it a nice good shake because it does have sediment that falls to the bottom. And this will be for our vinaigrette portion of that. And drop that in there. We're going to also add, for a little bit of sweetness, and this is some organic maple syrup I picked up, so we're just going to add a little bit of a teaspoon, okay? Honey, agave nectar would probably do the same trick if you don't have maple syrup laying around the house. Again, it's supposed to be a healthy salad, so don't go with the fake syrup that you can kind of get at the store. Make sure it's something healthy. If not, opt for that honey or that, like I said, agave nectar if you have any of that laying around from holiday margaritas. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to grate a teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of ginger into this, okay? So what I'm going to do for both actually is I'm going to grab a little larger bowl just to give me a little bit more surface area to do the grating, okay? I've never been a big fan of having to peel the garlic or peel the ginger. If you really have to, it's fine. If you're just doing this method, it'll almost peel itself as you go. So I'm just going to go ahead and grate that in. A lot of times it'll stick to that microplane. You're looking for about a teaspoon of ginger here. Almost there. we're going to do the same thing with turmeric. Again, you don't have to use the fresh turmeric. I chose to use fresh turmeric. Definitely, I feel like it has a little bit better of a property when it's nice and fresh, especially on the detox side. I can smell it. I love that smell. All right. So I'm going to add my fresh ginger and my fresh garlic right into there, about a teaspoon each. All right, and then we're going to add about a quarter teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to go ahead and pick that up with my fingers here. We're going to put that in. We're going to do our pepper to taste, okay? So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close that up. So now we have that emulsification on that dressing. So it's not separated into oil and any kind of base with water. So it's nice and pureed almost there. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to give that a little taste. Add a little bit of pepper to that. I'll shake it up. We're going to do one more taste. That's good. Okay. I'm going to put that off to the side and we're going to arrange our salad here. So with the remaining ingredients, we're going to go ahead and start adding our stuff in there. So I'm going to use about 2 cups of, I'm going to do a julienne radish cut, okay? So I'm going to kind of cut off my end portion here. Got my safety glove. So I'm going to cut off my end portion here, okay? That's just not going to give me the cut size. If I wanted to go back through, I could really dice that into the lines that I'm looking for, and then I'm going to kind of just shred up my cabbage. I don't like the big chunks of cabbage, so we're going to make it really nice and small. Again, cabbage has a really strong flavor, but so does this dressing. It's going to offset it nicely. So I'm looking for about 2 cups if I were to put this in my cup measurement. So I got about 1. We're going to add it right into our bowl. And we'll say that's about 2 cups. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead and use our green onion here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to use the entire green onion on this, except this end part. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just kind of trim this off. I've already, again, washed these. We're just going to do a nice little chop through. All right, green onion is in. We're going to actually leave these radishes just for the top on the end. Give it a little color up at the top. My carrot. So my carrot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of trim off my back portion here. I'm actually going to use carrot strips here. So I've washed it. I've scrubbed the outside of this carrot nicely. There's no need to actually go ahead and peel it down. And I'm going to kind of just strip my carrot up. Oop. Perfect. That should be about enough for us. I'll go ahead and add that right back into my bowl. We'll show you what that looks like in a second. All right. All right, my avocado. Okay, so I'm going to use my avocado. Easiest way to do the avocado is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to split it in half here, right along the seed. You're going to be really careful with your hand. That's why the nice part about that cut-resistant glove comes in. I'm going to pop my seed out. And we're going to just go ahead and do a nice little dice. So I'm going to actually go ahead and dice it inside the skin for anyone that doesn't know how to do that. And we can almost just squeeze it out into our bowl. So just run your blade this way on it and this way on it, okay? Again, that's why it comes in handy to not have that super sharp blade when you're doing that. All right. Perfect. And then we're going to grab our broccolini here. Same thing. The entire broccolini is okay to eat. I'm going to just top off the bottom portion just because it's the drier part. And we're going to go ahead and just put it kind of into just smaller bite-sized chunks. Again, that's going to make it a lot just easier for us. I'm eating it. Perfect. And then lastly, we're going to do some nice little chopped radishes. So again, I've already washed these. I'm going to cut my root part off here. And I'm just going to go ahead and do some nice thin slices. That's going to be more for a nice little garnish on our top here. I think I could have picked smaller radishes for this, but there we go. Taking that root part off there. Perfect. All right. Get some of my stems and stuff cleaned up here. Perfect. All right, so we're almost done here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and top that salad with that dressing that we used. Okay, so see if I can get in on this a little bit better. So we're going to just do it lightly. I'm going to have my tongs here. I'm just going to kind of drizzle it in, give it a nice little toss. You can see the kale's got that nice dark green color on it. That's what we were looking for, part of that massage process. You'll see it turns that nice, really kind of just dark, shiny color to it. That's what we're looking for. Really vibrant salad, really healthy, really good looking. We'll add just a little bit more dressing. I'm not a huge fan of real heavy dressing on salads. Perfect. We're going to take our display plate here. And I'm going to kind of just pan it into the salad bowl, kind of building it up as I go. Try and keep as much of your color on the top. Again, that's more for the presentation kind of value. Perfect. Some of this other stuff out of my way here. All right. And last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just throw my radishes nicely on top and around in a circle. And then we're going to take our sunflower seeds and just kind of drop them on top. Perfect. And there you have it. That is our detox salad for today. Super healthy dish, really light. It's going to fill you up without weighing you down throughout your day. It is a little bit labor intensive. What you can do is get all these other ingredients together, keep your dressing on the side. It makes for a perfect lunch, at the home office or at your actual office. So that's all I got. Anybody have any questions for today?
Great technique with the kale, Chef. Usually I dress mine ahead of time and then add everything else. So I guess it's more or less the same, but I've never heard the term massage the kale before. So thanks for adding that to the repertoire.
The kale, it works hard, just as hard as we do sometimes, Jim, and you need to take care of it.
I got a massage. That's good. Thanks. Nice job.
Man.
Happy New Year. It's 21, by the way. No more 2020. Please.
Oh, did I say 2020? I'm sure I'll be writing it on. I'll be writing it on emails for the next 3 months.
Nice job. Thank you,
guys. Appreciate your time. Any other questions? Awesome, guys. Well, have a great day. And I will actually see you. I'm hosting Chef's Corner again on Friday, so I'll see you then. Take care.
Thanks, Kevin. Looks good, man.